Hello, this is Jamie Magridge. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I want to show you how I made this card. For this card I used a card sketch. I have a whole binder of card sketches and ideas. So when I get stuck I can just flip through and find a layout that I like. I don't use it all the time, but every once in a while I pull one out and it makes it a little bit easier. So that's what I'm doing today. And this layout has 4 1 3/4 by 2 3/8 inch rectangles, a 2-inch rectangle. The original sketch did not call for the layers, it just called for one layer, but I'm adding 2, so the one layer is 4 by 5 1/4. The one behind that will be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then it'll go on your card base. Okay, so let's lay these out so you can see them. And I am using, let's see what it's called. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Forever Greenery, the designer series paper. That's what I'm using today. So these are my 1 3/4 by 2 3/8 inch pieces. I have just cut strips and I'm flipping them over. So it's 2 different papers, so I have 4 designs. They all coordinate because they're all the same paper and the same colors. Okay, so I've got those 4. Then I have my white piece, which is the 4 by 5 1/4. I have a piece of old olive, which is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I have my card base, which is thick, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored and folded at 4 1/4. And then I have a 2-inch square. I'm going to be using Forever Fern for my stamp set. I'm using this stamp here and the sentiment and old olive and memento black ink. So let's get started. First, oh, and I have a little bow of that crinkled seam binding. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is come in with my adhesive. I'm going to use the Tombow because it's just a little bit easier because it's got that wiggle room. And the first thing I did was just lay out my paper, the design I wanted it to be. Figure out where I wanted it. And get a dry run so you kind of get an idea how much space you have to play with. So I just put my first piece down, lined up these 2 sides so that they were the same distance apart. Okay, set it down and you go to your next one. Doesn't matter which one you go to, whichever one you can pick up. And again, line that up. You're going to want the top edge to match the top edge, and then your sides and your top, try to make them the same or similar. Okay, doesn't look straight. Okay, a couple more. This is a really easy card. You could dress it up using the foiled papers, or I just chose to do it a simple layout. This is truly a simple stamping card. You don't need anything extra other than stamped ink and paper. Okay. And this is going to get layered on top of our old olive piece. There's just the tiniest little border. Okay, then this will get layered on top of the front of our card. Excuse me. There's just a little tiny bit of a border. Okay, let's put that aside for a minute. I'm going to bring my Stampin' Pierce mat, and I'm going to bring in a scratch paper because I don't remember if I stamped off or not. Bring in that leaf stamp. Yeah, that's pretty dark. Stamp it. So I stamped off, and I'm stamping it on. And you know what? I'm going to clean this stamp off. I'm thinking that I used Pear Pizzazz instead of the old olive. So let's turn this over and use Pear Pizzazz. It's a little bit lighter. Washed my stamp off. That's much better. I like that better. It's just a little bit brighter. Okay. And I'm going to come in with Memento. And I know this is not straight on this. My sticker's a little crooked, but right in the center. It's not perfect. It's alright, we can fix it. Bring Stampin' Right marker in. Spots where it didn't stamp well. There we go. Alright. Now at this point, if you want it to be a simple stamping card, you can just mount this to the front like that without any other layers. I'm going to add a little bit of dimension. Bring in some dimensionals. Okay, that's going to go right in the center of our card. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my bow and a glue dot. Add that glue dot right on the end of that leaf. And there we go. There is our card. Here's the one I did previously. Well, thank you for joining me at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper. And don't forget, if you ever get stuck and you need a little mojo, just try looking at some card sketches. It's quite helpful. Well, have a great rest of your day.